before I jump ahead of myself and do this again. Okay. There's Meg. Okay. So we have designed an activity kit for you guys to use in classrooms, hopefully in person or virtually, or any combination thereof that might be happening in the next, couple months. So there's still a couple of people kind of coming in. So what we're going to do today is just go through, give you a little bit of background information about the kits and what all's in them, what all is entails with them, kind of the reasoning behind it all, and give you time to share any questions or concerns that you might have. Kits. So like I said, I'm Megan Walker. I am actually for a short period of time, I'm a former teacher from Buncombe County Schools. I taught at Irwin High School for a semester before I had my third child, and since then stayed at home for a little while, and then now I'm back in informal education. But I've taught for a little over 10 years and was a high school science teacher. So I try to always kind of, as I was creating the kit with my team, kind of keep you guys in mind as what the teacher really needs, and also what the students really need, and where, when they get to the high school level, for example, where we see them struggling with particular content. So all of these kits were made part by the Buncombe County Strategic Partnership Grant. And so it's fully funded. We're a nonprofit organization, and no one paid for these kits. It was all through grant funding. And so we are very thankful for Buncombe County Strategic Partnership Grant. This grant was to be utilized to help with our field trips and discounting field trips for you guys, and outreach programs for you guys, and after school programs, and help supply needs and staffing. But obviously with COVID, we had to reimagine how to allocate funds. And I had a conversation with Brian back at the beginning of the school year, and we kind of came up with a plan of where we thought the greatest need would be to help you guys within the elementary or middle school classrooms. And one of the things that he suggested to me with kind of the funding allotment that we had was, let's target 4th grade classrooms, because there's a big transition that takes place from 4th to 5th grade, and the whole concept of science becoming a full classroom and the change in expectations, and we really wanted to kind of fulfill that need. So that's why 4th grade teachers were selected to receive these kits. So we appreciate you guys. We really are hoping that will fulfill a need to help give you some engaging hands-on activities to help prepare these kids for intermediate and middle school and their future, hopefully, careers in STEM. So a couple things as far as the activity kits are concerned. You guys are all the lead teachers that Brian gave me to have contact with. So the information is all being sent to you, but however, it is not being sent to the rest of your 4th grade team. So anything that I share with you, I do ask that you please share with the rest of your teammates, because they aren't directly getting information from me or Brian or in regards to these kits. So I sent an email, I think last Friday, that included a lot of information and links to access things for these kits. If you would please share them with the rest of your teammates, that would be fantastic. I'm going to let Meg and Abby in a couple minutes go through the video information. We've created a video for you to go along with the kits, and they can let you know what is included with that video. We did decide to do, through Brian's recommendations, do a pre-recorded video versus a Zoom, because your time is so valuable with your kids live, and we value that, and we want to make this as user-friendly as possible for you. So the video is pre-recorded. You have access to it and access to share with your students and the rest of your teammates, etc. We'll give you a few helpful hints on the activity itself and answer any questions, and we should be out of here probably within 30 minutes. Like I said, we value your time. So we want to make sure that, you know, we can get your opinion, get any feedback that we need pre-activity, and then we will let you go. As you can see on the screen too, the green bags are what that you will be getting from your courier. They are being delivered via courier. I dropped them off at central office today with Brian, and they are all in sets of 25 in those green bags. And then the activity itself in the bottom corner is you guys will be creating, or your students will be creating, little circuit sculptures. So they'll be able to see a closed circuit and create it for themselves in 3D, and adding some creativity to however they want to design that circuit. Okay. So again, thank you to Montgomery County Strategic Partnership for allowing us the opportunity to help you guys. Like I said, with the goal of the project being to sort of fulfill this need of the fourth grade up in rigor and demand and anticipation for fifth grade science content. And then just as we go along today, as you kind of learn a little bit more about what we have provided for you, if you could just quickly in the chat kind of give me a pre-assessment survey of if you feel this activity will fulfill needs that you have in your classroom. So not only is it engaging and giving them a hands-on activity, but are we meeting the standards? Is the pacing and the timing good with it? You know, kind of just on a broad scale, is this something that you want and will fulfill your needs? And you can be totally honest with that. So again, with the activity kit details, so you can see in the picture the different components you have. Let me let one more person in. So each teacher will get a green bag that has 25 kits in it. So labeled on each bag, since we sent it through the courier, is your school's name and your lead, one of you guys' name, one of the lead teachers. That way the front office knows when they get it, who to deliver it to. All the information within the kit that you need to share, we wanted to make it as adaptable as possible for you. So all the documents, there's a hard copy in the kit bags themselves, but there also, I sent you a Word document and a link to Google Form. And because I'm assuming that probably most of you will utilize this electronically with your kids within Google Classroom, but it's up to you how you'd like to use it and, you know, what the world looks like if you have kids in the classroom or not by the time you do use it. Like I said, it does include a video. The video is, the idea is that the kids watch the video before they do the activity, because the video explains the content, and then it also preps them for actually creating the sculptures themselves. Again, please make sure you share it with the rest of your team, because you are the only ones at this point that have it. The other fourth grade teachers do not yet. Brian told me today that they're all set up, all the bags are set up for the courier, and so you should be receiving them by the end of next week. Each bag contains 25 kits. So for some of you that have smaller classrooms, you will have extra sets of kits, but each green bag does have 25. And then for those of you who have full classrooms of 25, there should be extra materials in there. If there is not and you need more materials, feel free to email us and we will get you more materials. The green bags also have the hard copies, like I think before. We do ask, once this is complete, it's really, really important on our end, as those of you who have worked with grants in the past, one of the key things that grantors like to see is evaluation. And so we really, really ask that if you could take a few minutes, I've created a simple survey. It's just for on the teacher end of things. If you guys could fill out the survey, it's a Google form once the activity is complete, so that we can get feedback to help us improve, but also to help continue to receive funding from organizations like this, so that we can continue to help you in various ways in the future. So, any questions so far?
You may have said this, but and I'm sorry if you did, but does just us need to fill out the evaluation, or should we share that with our colleagues as well?
It would be great if all the fourth grade teachers could fill it out. That would be fantastic. It does not need to be filled out by the students. Saved you on that one. But it would be great, as much feedback as we could get from the teachers. That would be fantastic. Any other questions? If you would just speak up. Cool. All right. So I'm going to let Meg and Abby take it for a couple minutes. They are the awesome educators that work with kids, well, almost every day now at the museum, and they have created the video to engage your kids all about energy. So if they would like to share a little bit about the video and the learning goals that are associated with this activity and that are found on the video, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, hi everyone. We were excited to do this project. It was really cool, and it's of course really rewarding because we know that you are working your butts off this year. So some of the learning goals that we tried to target with the project was to understand that energy takes a lot of different forms and can be transferred in different ways. So the video kind of goes over how to make a simple circuit, types and forms of energy, how they move through circuits, and then kind of just how we have a little bit with drones as well, and how we can, kind of mobilize energy at this point through batteries.
Yeah, we were kind of like a little silly with it. So hopefully your kids like it and are excited to make their own circuit. Yeah, I think it's only like 25 minutes long, so something really short for them to just get like an introduction to the activity.
Yeah, and hopefully, like Mike said, hopefully it's fun. Hopefully it's funny. We are definitely by no means videographers, but
yeah. And then so this with the circuit and like with having energy in different forms, it can be transferred to light energy and the way that light travels. So with this exact activity, we're not focusing on light in any way besides that the light is going to light up, but there's definitely different areas where you can lead into the next chapter of the way that light travels and how it can be refracted, or and I think we talk about that in the video too, a little bit of the light energy. So but yeah, and then besides all of this, with the what you're going to actually get inside of the kit is and this, we go over this in the video too. So we have a what is it called, the camera that we did? A document camera where they can see our hands actually putting the kit together. So you have a battery, 2 paper clips, 2 pieces of wire, 2 rubber bands to attach the paper clips to the battery, and then your light, and then the 4 pipe cleaners for the kids to actually be creative with it, and get excited about like what their circuit's going to look like, and yeah, we put it together in the video for you too, so you'll be able to see it. But yeah.
Thanks, guys. Also, too, to touch on a couple little additional things. So we really targeted your 4th grade science learning goals and energy with 3.1, but not as much 3.1 or 3.2 with reflection and refraction, but you could easily extend the activity and create something because they will have the light source from the circuit themselves, and you can play around with that. And it's, it's mobile. So they can take it around their house or take it around the classroom and look and see how possibly reflection or refraction could occur, or even in some cases, some absorption. And specifically to one of the things that we look at doing in the museum is applying next generation science standards. For North Carolina itself, we are not yet required to use next generation science standards, but our standards are up for revision, and Brian might have mentioned this to you in the past, or if you're aware, but our last revision science standards was in 2010, I believe, and so that was a really long time ago. And so I'm pushed back a little bit with COVID and everything and the adoption and creation of new standards, but those of us kind of in the science world kind of foresee future standards being more reflective of next generation science standards. Would you agree with that, Brian?
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's not named next generation, they'll probably call it the North Carolina Science Standards, but it will look and feel a lot like these standards that she's talking about. And it's probably 2 years out based on the delay from last year.
Right. So with next generation science standards specifically, they look at a couple things, not only just the content, which you're familiar with from your experience so far with North Carolina standards, but you're also looking at applying engineering kind of concepts too. So they're building and creating and designing and utilizing the scientific method. That's really an important part of it. So you'll be seeing a push to do that more in your classrooms more than likely, and then also to become a little bit more interdisciplinary within the science content fields. So the girls actually do a really good job of this in the video, where they're talking about energy and we're talking about circuits and things like that from a mechanical, physical science kind of side of things. And then they start talking about how energy is used in your body. So we're getting into life sciences. So it's definitely some cross-cutting concepts is the terminology that we use with these new sort of evolving science standards. So you guys will be practicing those within your classroom, which is great when doing this activity. And Abby, Meg, anything?
Yeah, I did want to touch on real quick, just some of the troubleshooting that we went through. It's pretty straightforward. You just got to make sure, right, that all of your wire is touching your paper clips and the wire is also touching the light, and it's making that closed circuit. But the light does have those two, like the different diodes on the end. So you do, like, if you connect it and the light doesn't turn on, try just flipping the battery and connecting it again, because it has that positive negative. And for a while we were like, oh my gosh, is this not going to work? Does this light not work? And then we just realized we were being silly. But so if the light's not working, yeah, try flipping the battery. We also have 2 lights in each kit in case something happens to one. So we should be all good on that.
Cool, thanks. Also too, it is, a fairly sensitive connection. So when they wrap the rubber band around the little battery, connect the paper clips to it, it does have to be fairly tight. So if they have any kind of, I would say probably most 4th graders have pretty good fine motor skills, but they might need a little bit of additional help, or at least push on it. And that should create the full circuit. If at any point though, you guys have questions or concerns, or something's not working, or you need more supplies, or you can access something that you're supposed to be able to be getting, please let me know. I regularly check the EDU email, and one of us will get you what you need for sure. Okay. At this point, if you guys would take a minute in the chat and just, if you feel like this, you think, preemptively, if this is something that you will be able to utilize in your classroom and is valuable at this point, given this, kind of crazy year that we're in, we'd really like that early feedback to, again, help us with grant writing and creating things that are valuable for you guys, since we can't actually get you in the museum right now. So sharing that would be fantastic. And if you have any questions, now would be a great time for us to answer any of those. We really do appreciate everything that you guys are doing. I know this school year is incredibly difficult with so many increased variables that have never existed before. So we really just wanted to bring you something that your kids could have that was hands-on versus what they get on a computer screen every day, and something that can help kind of engage them and create, you know, future STEM leaders. So any questions at this point?
If we do end up staying, the board's voting tomorrow night, and we end up wanting to teach this standard while we are virtual, are we allowed to do a pickup day for them to watch the video at home and us do this via Zoom with our kids? Like, what does that look like if we do happen to stay virtual for an extended period of time where we are doing and teaching this standard and they're not in school? Because I definitely want to use the kits. These are awesome. I think we're all very excited to have these provided for our kids.
So the video is made public on YouTube. And so you guys will have access. So like you can send that out to your students, right? And like that still won't take away from your live time. Is that, so wait, what was your question?
I'm more so asking about the kits particularly. Like, are we allowed to have a pickup day for them to come get those?
Yes.
Yeah, whatever system you have in place, and maybe I'm hopeful you have a system in place for getting things to kids, whether it's art supplies or ELA supplies, whatever. But this could be fall into that system that you might have. Absolutely.
Sweet. I wasn't sure with it being a grant how that. I know sometimes grant put restrictions on things, so.
Now we designed this so that even if we had remote kids, even in a hybrid setting, your remote kids would still have access to these kits, so that your face-to-face kids and remote kids are doing the same activity.
Sweet.
Thanks for that question.
Yes, thank you. Other questions?
I do have one request, and I just dropped the link into the chat. Teachers, if you wouldn't mind giving us an idea of when you're going to do the electricity unit at your school. And if you're not sure, that's okay too. But it would just be nice for the AMOS team and myself to have a sense of when you're expecting to do this electricity unit. And so it's a pretty simple document. There's a chart there that has a place for your school name, and mid-March or early February, something like that would suffice. I appreciate that.
And for the grant survey from the Google form, can we just expect that to show up in our email one day?
So that will get sent to you again. That was sent with that initial email from last Friday. I attached, there's multiple links, one to the Google documents themselves for your handout and for the student handout. There's also a link to the survey embedded in there as well in that document. But over the next few weeks, after you guys have had time to get the kits, I'll follow up with you and send you the survey again. Other questions? Okay. Like I said, if at any point you have questions along the way, please let us know. We're happy to help. We can get you resources you need, or resend links, or whatever it is that you need. We're really excited to hopefully give you something that that your kids will like to play with. And also kind of along those lines, when we thought of this, thinking of resources that were fun and engaging, obviously that met the standard, but it's something that you might not necessarily have readily access to in your classrooms. So like buying a class set of batteries is probably not going to happen for most of you on a regular basis. So we thought about that as well too. So it's a fairly simple activity, but hopefully it hits home and hits the standards, and they really enjoy it. Cool. All right, well, if no one else has any questions, if you think of anything, like I said, feel free to email me. One of us will help you out for sure. Otherwise, enjoy your kits. You should be getting them, like I said, end of next week. And we really look forward to the feedback and hope you guys survive the rest of the school year and we get face-to-face when it's safe and all the good things. And, you know, I'm excited. I got a message that my dad is going to get his vaccine today. So about that. So it's coming slowly but surely. So thank you guys for your time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Welcome.
Thank you.